Who would like a free Christmas pattern? Hello everyone and welcome to Stories It Flies. Today's tutorial is a free Christmas pattern where I'm going to teach you how to create this adorable little gingerbread man. As it is only 1 month until December, it's the perfect time to start making all of your Christmas projects. This little gingerbread man is so easy to make. It's made out of felt. You won't need a sewing machine because it's just hand stitching, and the PDF pattern is free. So let's get sewing. So the first and most important thing that you'll need for this project is the paper pattern. Now this is just a 1-page PDF file. The link is in the description. All you need to do is download it, print it off, and then cut it out. And then for fabric, you're going to want some brown felt. I've got this biscuit sort of shade. And then what I do, because I've not got much of this, I cut out one of my gingerbread in this, and then for the back I have a slightly darker shade. So if you see that later on in the pattern, don't get confused. And then you're also going to want some white felt. Don't worry, you don't need much of this. And then for the accessories, you're going to need ribbon for his little bow tie. I use anything Christmassy or tartan ribbon. And then you're also going to need 2 buttons. The colour is your choice. And then for his eyes and mouth, you're going to need black and red embroidery thread. Now normally I've seen people use buttons for the eyes on the gingerbread man, but I don't have any the right size, so when I tried it with my random buttons that I found, he looked very strange, so I've decided to embroider them. The choice is yours. You can either embroider them like me or try out some buttons or beads or whatever you'd like. And then the last 2 things we have on the list is your general sewing equipment, especially hand sewing things, and then also toy stuffing, lots of it. Then go ahead and cut out the fabric as the pattern says. And then you can check how many pieces you will need with the list shown on the screen here. You may have noticed on your paper pattern that there are little notches marked on it. And so, lightly with either a pencil or a tailor's chalk, mark them on the front piece of your fabric. So you have probably been wondering what these little white strips are for. They are the decoration for the arms and legs of the gingerbread man, and we are now going to sew them on. The notches we created on the legs and arms are the markers for where they sit, so just line them up and pin them on. And now with your needle and some white thread, hand sew them on. All I am doing is doing some small over stitches over the white from the brown. If you're a beginner and not very comfortable with hand sewing stitches, then I do have a YouTube tutorial and blog post about 5 of the most regularly used hand stitches, and I'll link that in the description below. Once you have finished sewing, you can trim off any excess white fabric. And now we're going to move on to making the bow tie. From your ribbon, cut 2 pieces, one measuring 7 inches and the other 3 inches. Take your 3-inch piece of ribbon, fold it in half, and then baste it together. Then take your longer piece of ribbon, fold it together, and sew it together. Then you can turn it right sides out and place the seam in the centre. Then with your needle and thread, you're going to want to create ruffles down either side of that seam. As you can see from mine, it doesn't have to be neat. If your smaller piece looks like it'll be too wide to go around the bow, then you can do what I'm going to do and fold it in half. Then wrap your smaller piece of ribbon around the centre of your bow, covering the raw edge with the folded side. Then you can sew it together. Now it's time to start adding the accessories to the gingerbread man. And so starting from the first notch, you're going to want to sew your bow tie directly on the notch. And then on the next 2 notches, sew on your 2 buttons. As I said at the beginning, if you would prefer to use buttons or beads for the eyes and mouth, then you can sew them on now. But if not, it's time to embroider them with your red and black embroidery thread. And I have marked the eyes and mouth on the paper pattern, so you can use those as a guide. Now we have just got to finish assembling our gingerbread man, so take your back piece and place your front on top of it, and then you can just pin them together. Now you're just going to want to start creating blanket stitches all around the edge of the gingerbread man. And as I said before, if you're not comfortable with this hand stitch, then you can check out my tutorial, which is linked in the description below. Continue stitching all of the way around, but once you get near to the end, leave a small gap for where we're going to stuff him later. So now that I've finished sewing and left a small gap, it's time to stuff him. So get your toy stuffing and stuff him until he's firm. Once you've finished stuffing, sew the hole closed. And that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you're interested in more tutorials, you can either check out our website, the link is in the description, and you could give this video a like and you could subscribe to our channel. Thank you!